there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 with this Prussian campaign, and Prussia accidentally walked in within the range of the Danish army, and we're gonna have a battle which is going to be very bloody indeed, but just because there's so many Danish troops to defeat. However, this is probably a little bit more of an even fight compared to us fighting the French, because the Danish are at a similar level to ours when it comes to accuracy and morale for a lot of their troops. So I would say 16 with about 30 for morale for most of their men, while ours is about, I mean, for the ones I have the most of is 18-30, so maybe even a little bit better than some of the standard regiments compared to ours. So in that sense we have a little bit of a better chance than against the French, but time will only tell as we go into battle. So without further ado, let's go ahead and join into battle with the Danish. My battle plan is as follows. As the enemy is set to attack us, I'm gonna take, once again we kind of spawn on the high ground, as we can see. Kinda, we are on the high ground. So I'll set up my defense around these two hills, where they will hopefully be able to support each other. We've got infantry brigades on either side, so we've got one here and one on this side. In the center we've got the light infantry and the grenadiers to back them up. All the cavalry pushed into the center to be able to quickly respond. We're gonna have to move up a little bit. Not with this cannon though, actually, because there's not actually much more room to move up here, as we can see. We're gonna, as soon as the enemy kind of comes over the ridge, we'll blast them with canister. Over here though, this cannon, that one could definitely do with marching up and setting up somewhere closer to the middle of the hill. With that said, let's go ahead and start. I mean, I have to get kind of over there to kind of fire over the ridge, which is going to be a problem because the Danish is right over there. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have the engineers move forward and place their spikes. And we'll see what the Danish are planning for this battle. Right now they're kind of clumping up, which, I mean, they didn't do that to, I mean, they did do that for like the first battle, but then they kind of got out of that. But now they're back at doing that again, which I don't really get. I'm wondering, since the Danish are actually sitting back here, if we should not try to conduct the battle actually in the forest here in front, and I can have the cannons above shooting down on the enemy. Get your spikes out. Yeah, the enemy is kind of just sitting there. The thing is, if I start to move forward, that could go very badly, couldn't it? I mean, at this range I would still be able to hit that clump up there, and still with being comfortable canister range as the enemy goes out of the forest. We'll have these guys retreat back to the cannons. This cannon kind of no chance of bouncing a cannonball onto the enemy. Some light dragoons of the Danish moving up. Or they tried to move up for a bit. We'll see. What I'll actually do is I'll place the grenadiers kind of like this. On the sides. In case we could have one of the lances goes through here. Are you in place? Right, let's wake up that blob. Firing some cannonballs into it. Large amount of the Danish cavalry is moving back. I guess securing the reinforcement, but I don't think that's very necessary because we're not really moving up. They're moving forwards into a possible charge. Not entirely sure what they're doing. This cannon should open fire any second now. Looks like it's firing for cavalry, which is just as well, because they have a lot of it. And I don't really trust all my lances. We'll keep pounding them for a bit before I go ahead and start waking up the line infantry. It's better to... you know what? Let's have this one. See if that one can fire round shot as well at the enemy. So pretty well set positions right now, I think. Yeah, this guy isn't shooting anything. And the enemy kind of has to cross the ridge, and then they'll come into a massed gunfire by our men. And the sharpshooter is ready to pull back into the forest. And great cannon positions up on the hill to spray them with canister. Guess cannon shots. Would we start flying this way now, since the cavalry has moved in front here? And we'll bounce through all of this. Kind of wake up the Danish mess which they've created right here. I'll go ahead and tell the cannons to actually target the back here. Trying to stay away because I know the FPS is gonna fall like hell if I get too close to that. Just absolute black hole of Danish troops. Here comes the cannon shot. Told it to kind of bounce through the middle here. Didn't go as well as I thought, and it seems like some of the infantry was taken out. If I order them to specifically target the little scout unit, scout squadron, if we'll hit that, pretty sure they will bounce onto the infantry, and then we'll wake them up. Maybe they're waiting for sounds like cannons over here. Do I have... I do have... Let's see. The Landwehr lances. We'll try to swing them around. Get a hit on that cannon before it gets close. You know what? Starting to get boring waiting for the Danish to advance. I'm gonna start shelling directly towards them. Gonna have the Landwehr move around. Ooh, look at that. We've got cannons and loads of Danish troops that we found out. So I was listening for a cannon unit out here, but we kind of discovered all of this. The Danish are moving away from it. I'll see if I can just quickly kind of go ahead and snipe charge it, get rid of it. It could be that's why the enemy is not advancing, because they have superior amount of cannons, which is like the normal Napoleon Empire style of doing things. As long as the AI does have the advantage in cannon, they will not advance. We're taking a few shots, and the light dragoons coming after us. But we're quick to skedaddle down into the forest after having dealt quite a stinging blow to the Danish by taking out their one cannon. They're actually sending 2 squadrons of cavalry after us. And I'm gonna have my cavalry not stand to fight the Danish, but to move back to the line infantry. The Danish general is actually following. There's no way I can twist the cannons that far. And as the Danish cavalry moves out of the forest, you know what? We'll form square. They're actually going to bypass. Dragoons will join in the fray. I don't really trust my lancers, as I've said before. We're going to pile on the Danish now. Turn around. Charge back at them as they decided to attack the square, which took minimal casualties, while we were able to chase away both these squadrons of light cavalry. They're still deciding to hold their position. I want to scout more because we heard, of course, there was the reinforcements coming in over here, so I want to see what that is all about. Also, there's a small unit of Norwegian ski troops running around in the forest, which I can imagine have quite high accuracy. You know what? If I use both cavalry units, I think we could safely take that unit out, as it's now kind of on its own in the forest. And I sent away this cannon unit by bouncing some shots and destroying it all. We can't take a closer look. The Danish or the Norwegian ski troops were hidden in the forest. We might take some casualties here. But no, we caught them by surprise in the forest. That could have gone a lot worse for us, as I believe the Norwegian ski troops have really good accuracy. Is the Danish army on the move now? They seem to be focusing heavily their movements towards... I mean, I'm in and out of the forest all the time, and they seem to kind of focus their responses to my advancements is just to move in response to my cavalry's moving over here. It could be now that they're starting to move up because they know they've lost the cannon advantage. They're not sending up all troops though. But at this point, having lost 2 squadrons, 2 smaller squadrons of light dragoons. Okay, we can't hit that unit anymore. So I guess we'll have to wait until they come over the edge, and then we'll have to hit them with canister. I actually want the grenadiers now to actually take position here. Cavalry will have to take part in aiding us here. Danish cavalry is going for the center, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be broken and not be able to get close. We got a nice canister going into the grenadiers, which are advancing here. And now the canister on the left side is going off as well, sending off Danish troops. We've got Danish cavalry attacking once more. And they're actually stopping my cannon, which is not great. Worried about my flank as we've got enemy grenadiers moving in. So we need to stop these guys. Landwehr will go for the infantry. Dragoons will come in and aid the grenadiers, which failed their charge. I need the cannon crew back on those cannons. My left side is not really doing anything at this point, and oh shit, my lancers failed in their attack. Cavalry can move in among the cannons, and we need to kind of advance these troops. And move this cannon, and move these troops, and then get the cavalry out on the flank to sweep those guys away. Danish infantry going down into this kind of hole right in front of the forest, and then getting defeated. More Danish infantry moving forwards. Why are you guys not firing? Firing straight forward then. Spray that militia troop, or militia troop, I mean. Now they're actually putting quite the effort on my left. Enemy general. The Prince Frederick of Hessen has died. Danish troops charging forwards. Their advance is being checked by the musketeers and the grenadiers. Even the light infantry is holding their position, even though they're repelling bayonet charges. Not going too well here. That sharpshooter company needs to get dealt with, so I'm going to send in the dragoons. Danish once more attacking down. It's actually artillery attacking here, and then we've got grenadiers marching down. I managed to send off the Danish dragoons, or at least one of them. But there's just too many enemy cavalry units. Will be forced to form square. Lots of Danish troops retreating here. So you can see there's a big difference of me fighting the Danish compared to me fighting the French. Danish troops being pushed away. Right, back into line. Ooh, that canister absolutely wrecked those guys. You will hold here. And I would say rather quickly, we have sent the Danish troops off. Dragoons will retire. And we'll kind of... we'll hold... The thing is, the enemy is gonna... They've got more troops. They've got a lot more troops coming in. So I don't want to... I don't really want to advance on the Danish. We're gonna hold our position. Oh, what's this? I don't think this is gonna be necessary to move these guys like that though, because I think my dragoons will be enough to break. I didn't even... when did these guys break through our lines? Or I guess they retreated kind of through the lines. That was kind of crazy. Sharpshooter companies are back on the right side. I wonder if I can spray canister all the way. This one musketeer unit on my furthest right is in need of aid. Gonna swing around. There's a lot of Danish troops now putting pressure on my left. Shooting down the hussars. They need to come back. We're gonna make a little bit of a room here for the sapper company to move forward, and Danish are moving straight into the 12-pounder fire, and the canister is just wrecking the Danish line as they approach. Right now, if I look at the map, there is an attack going on here on our left, and there's a slight attack here on the right, and then we can see enemy troops moving into support. These guys are about to be broken. I'm gonna send in the cavalry to make sure that they are. Got Danish infantry advancing. The Lippen line turned to actually face the Danish. So we'll have the entire regiment firing. Boom! Send those guys away. We have veteran line and the militia. I would send the cavalry to deal with them, but I want to save them. And I think we can beat these guys just with the infantry troops we have on the front line at this point. They're putting a lot of troops on this flank. Since most of the reinforcements are coming from over here, I wonder if we cannot concentrate the cavalry and try to see if we can sweep these aside. The Lippen troop is one of my weakest units. I think I will recruit them in Hanover, and they're about as weak as the Landwehr. Danish are possibly moving in for a bayonet charge. Not entirely sure what they're doing. Seems like it. They could have just continued to fire upon us, and they probably would have broken at least the Lippen unit. A sharpshooter company and one unit of line infantry. Let's see, have the dragoon arrived? No, they're gonna take a while to get there. I think we have enough to get these two. So the hussars moving into the flank, and they will be able to get the sharpshooters. Pour that one sharpshooter that got caught out there. And as we quickly are able to send these guys off, I want to turn and get the 16th Regiment and send them off. The Lippen Regiment has lost a lot of men. Quite quickly we're able to overwhelm those guys, and then we'll retire back here again. Dragoons were never needed on this side. Dragoons will be stationed in the center as... Let's see. Fire canister this way. We've got a general, we got some sharpshooter companies. Got lots of Danish troops retreating off this way. There's definitely gonna have to be a second battle over recapping Hanover. Just by the amount of Danish troops. However, shit! We fired canister through our entire own line there. Great. Great. Wonderful. We'll drag the 2 musketeers. What the hell? Stop shooting my own men, goddammit. The oh, fine, if you want to be a 360 fucking turret, then go ahead and be a 360 turret. Jeez! That was a lot of friendly fire. That was a lot of damage. There's no, what's it called? No flex tape is gonna save those guys. Jeez. Luckily we've got cavalry close by to help. The hussars will go for the light company. Got a Danish general. Fire on these guys, you morons. Let's have the grenadiers come a little bit closer to support, just in case. We can have the rifles take up this position, and then this smaller rifle group will be right there. Right, the hussars managed to contact with these, and what's going on over here? My veteran musketeers came back, and we've got a Danish general, or at least his bodyguard. Probably shot more of my own there. Definitely need to be recruiting more veteran musketeers. What's this? A major attack by Danish militia. Splitting our line in the center. Dragoons will be called to that location immediately. You know what? Hussars try to chase down all of these. As the Danish, having tried to outflank us, they've been beaten. I think I can tell the cannon to fire towards the... or I think I can put troops on the flank again. That's what I'm gonna say. The militia is holding the fire. Me sending the dragoons straight into the fire is not a great plan.
Our men are running, sir.
And they're broken. Veteran musketeers will join on this side. Try to hold the Danish back. This side is kind of weak at this point. And we got a sharpshooter company doing us a load of hurt on this musketeer unit right here. Oh, there's 2, there's 1 hidden as well. The hussars have been chasing down these guys. Got 2 larger units that I need you guys to chase down. I think we have enough to deal with these. No! Why? My grenadiers. What is wrong with this cannon crew? Now they team killed tons of my grenadiers. Right. Chase those guys down. What is wrong with that cannon? You will hold fire. No, you will fire for that unit. Jesus Christ. I mean, we held against most of the Danish infantry. What broke us, or broke a lot of our units, was our own artillery piece, which decided that they were gonna kill all our own troops. You know what? I don't even want you to fire anymore. Got small sharpshooter. We can get the hussars over there to get them Dragoons. Ah, the Lippen troop. You rallied. Dragoons. Veteran musketeers. Back to the front. And you know what? Round shot. Finally. And now I just want you guys to hold fire. I want these two. Go there. You find those. You four. Find that one. And sharpshooter company. It's gone. I think it's safe to say that the Danish have been defeated at this point. What I will go ahead and do is we'll make sure just to scout out a little bit, but I've ordered general advance on all troops to find out and to shoot down all Danish enemies. To the front. It's a bit of impossible terrain here and there. We'll discover if they're hiding a large amount of forces over here. I think we'll be able to win against the militia. Especially when I've got musketeers. And a superior number of them. Where the stakes were placed very well, I'd say. Okay, we got someone retreating. One unit was defeated. Okay, so it might not actually go that well here. Just by the sheer number of enemies. So after all, a few hundred. Guess we'll have to use canister to send these guys away. What we'll do is we'll do like this. Tell these guys to fire at will. The enemy line infantry over here. Close range fire. Pretty sure we have the advantage here. Canister came from over there. I thought that we're gonna fire on these troops. I think we've got another unit somewhere hiding in there. The light infantry will advance into the forest and see what's up there. Don't think this this militia will stand for long. Ah, it was the Jaeger company that we saw. The sharpshooters. Or I saw they got like a chevron or something turning up. I kind of noticed there was one unit there that was still willing to fight. Canister is probably gonna send the militia away any second now. And the sharpshooters are in line, being flanked fire by my sharpshooters. And seemingly those are the two last units, because the guys over here haven't found anything. And now these two guys were broken, which I imagine only means that this general left, which is going to be chased down by the hussars. Which the hussars almost broke on that.
We have killed their general, sir.
And we killed their other general, which means I got both of them. I think if was the major force within the town or was it outside? Because if the major force was outside, That would do a lot better, because without the general they won't be able to resupply. They might all be drawn into the capital region though. This army took a heavy beating, but then again we were outnumbered. And my cannons decided to shoot down a few hundred of my own men for some reason. I don't think it's ever been that bad where it's repeatedly put 12-pounder canister at that close range right into like the flank and just tearing up the units. Anyways, let's go to the campaign map and take a look at the situation. Here we have the results. We lost about half the army. Half the army has survived, 1,200 men. The enemy deployed, however, twice as many men as we did. And they lost more than half of their force. They lost 3,500. And the forces here... oh, we can see here that the enemy killed about 800 of my men, but I lost 1,000. So 200 men were team killed by our own cannons. Those 200 men would actually put us so we would have even numbers with the troops in there. Highest amount of kills is this 12-pounder Landwehr artillery piece, which kills 647 enemies. I don't know if he will count our own troops that he shot. Then, well, it's the cannons and the cavalry that did the best. As a few units didn't do too well, like the Lippen, they lost more than they killed. No surprise there, they're basically a Landwehr unit. Ooh, yes! The bigger force of the Danish fell back. And they're no longer within range of resupplying this force, which is wonderful news. However, where is the other army I have? It's over here. We still got these guys running about. Hopefully, we got really poor replenishment rate here, so I can't really. We need. Are you how? You're still like 2 turns away from attacking the Danish, which is a problem. I do have a lot of gold that we can spend on troops and stuff. I'll have to raise a lot of troops, and since we're fighting the French... Oh shit, there's more French units of course coming towards Saxony. We're gonna have to raise a lot of regiments and try to recruit some better regiments as well, but given that the enemy is this close, I don't think I have time to wait for turns for veteran musketeers. So we need to just push as many troops to the front line as possible, and also kind of open up more areas where we can recruit troops close by. So maybe I can relieve a bit of what we recruit in the center to actually recruit some of the better units, and then pile in with the normal musketeers coming in from the outside areas here. Right, and the French are going to be really hard because there's so many of them, and it seems as though they're pushing back the Austrians at this point. The Austrians moved forward. I think they had Bavaria at some point. Or maybe they had taken Switzerland for some point, but now they're pushing back, and there's so many French troops coming this way, just pouring in through here. That's just gonna force away the Austrians. I am with me now in control of. Should I be able to set up a land route to Belgium? Shouldn't I? Oh no, I can't, because Hanover is taken. So I don't have a land route. Damn it. Yeah, anyways, we hope to beat back the Danish. And hopefully I can kind of I mean, Sweden is part of the alliance, so maybe I can drag in them into the war, and they can come, and there's a two-front war on the Danish, and that will cause them quite the headache, and will relieve me quite a bit. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!